Good evening, everyone. If you don't know, you should know. My name is Rameez and I am a filmmaker and a film critic. And Hollywood finally gave me an excellent film in Captain America: Civil War. Let's get on with this review. Let me preface this review by saying, why would you want to see Batman v Superman? And why would you defend Batman v Superman when Captain America Civil War gives you Captain America versus Iron Man, The Vision versus Scarlet Witch, Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow versus Hawkeye, Spider-Man versus the Winter Soldier, Ant-Man versus Iron Man? Literally everyone is fighting for something in this film. This film is all about spectacle, and it's not just about spectacle, it's also an action movie, so it's obviously about action as well. And the Russo brothers have delivered not one, but two of the best action films in the past decade, which are not called Mad Max Fury Road. The plot of this film is kind of secondary, and we all know what the plot of the film is. Iron Man, after the Battle of Sokovia, finally starts to feel guilty of all the stuff he's been doing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so he sides with the government when it comes to the Superhuman Registration Act. And Captain America opposes that since what happened in The Winter Soldier when he found out that Hydra was operating within S.H.I.E.L.D. So it's a simple enough plot, and it's a coherent enough plot, and it adds enough interesting subplots for the viewer to follow along. And the most important part about the plot is that both our protagonists, who also play the role of antagonists, Iron Man and Captain America, are given clear goals, and we know that why these characters would take these stances. It's not out of the blue their motivation, like in another superhero film. The subplots form around Black Panther and Bucky Barnes. Great move on the writer's part to have that be a subplot. Through that, they built three characters: Bucky, T'Challa, and the sort of the villain of this film, Baron Zemo. A common complaint of all the Marvel Cinematic Universe films is that they're too childlike, or too kiddie, if you will. It's not true in Civil War's case. There's some really dark stuff and themes going on in the film. It is a political thriller after all. Now, I need to stress this point a lot. Just because a film is dark doesn't mean it can't be fun. A lot of people were moaning about critics who said that Batman v Superman wasn't fun. Fun can be anything. The Joker's performance in The Dark Knight is fun to watch. Rorschach doing detective work in Watchmen, an overtly dark film, is fun to watch. Batman Begins, Batman training with Liam Neeson, is fun to watch. Batman v Superman had no aspects of the film which were fun to watch. Not the performance, not the cinematography, not the characters, nothing. Nothing was fun to watch except the schlock when Batman was fighting Superman. As an audience member going to the movies, intrigue can be translated as fun as well. And Captain America Civil War has that in spades, despite being disguised as a political thriller action film. Now you might be asking, where is this fun in this political thriller? Well, all the characters bouncing off of each other. There is not a single exchange of dialogue which is not needed or boring in this film. And of course, the action is friggin' credible, man. The tunnel chase with Black Panther is perfectly shot and edited, and the main sequence of this film, which is shown in the trailers, which is not the final sequence of this film, by the way, the airport fight scene, is incredible. It is the best thing Marvel has produced when it comes to action set pieces, much more memorable than the Battle of New York and Sokovia combined. The only problem with that action sequence is that it kinda lacked high stakes like the Captain America Winter Soldier movie and both the Avengers movies, but they more than make up for that by giving every character something to do and using every character to its maximum potential. That fight scene is like reading a comic book. You wanted to see Ant-Man shrink into a tiny ant and go into Iron Man's suit? You get to see that. You wanted to see Ant-Man travel on Hawkeye's arrow? You get to see that. You wanted to see Captain America in a handicap match against Black Panther and Spider-Man? You get to see that. You want to see Ant-Man turn into a giant? You get to see that. You want to see the Vision and Scarlet Witch fall in love? You get to see that. That one sequence is strong enough to warrant buying the ticket of the film again. Now for my issues with this film. Iron Man's motivations. They are a bit too simplistic and out of the blue. There was never any setup that Tony would ever have guilt. Tony was always conflicted in the previous films, but he never had any guilt of the destruction that he's causing. And in this film, all of a sudden, he's like, oh my god, I feel guilty. And the way it happens is so simplistic and first draftish almost. A woman from Sokovia comes to him, backstage at a big event and she tells him, "Oh my god, this happened in Sokovia and I'm really mad at you." And all of a sudden Tony Stark's guilty. I admire the change that they did for the character, and Robert Downey Jr. can sleepwalk as Tony Stark now, and same goes for Chris Evans, by the way. But it is a bit too simplistic for a film that literally does very little wrong. The jumping point for his arc is a bit weak, if I'm being honest. And now for my other problem with this film, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this, but it was Spider-Man. Now I don't have a problem with him physically. He's fantastic. He does a lot of cool stuff in the film. My problem is with the character, and this is the same problem I had in The Amazing Spider-Man as well. A brat doesn't translate well for a superhero movie. It works in a comic book because that's a comic book, but it doesn't translate well for a superhero film. And especially in Spider-Man's case, because it ruins the saying Uncle Ben told him, "With great power comes great responsibility." He doesn't seem responsible at all. People need to understand it doesn't matter how accurate a comic book movie is to the comic book. All that matters is the movie's character and how you connect with it. I connected with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. I did not have a shred of connection with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man at all. And I had a very hard time feeling sorry for him in big action sequences because he's always mocking the bad guys. The acting is superb. Every actor and actress seems to legitimately have passion for their role, and they're having fun while playing this role. People, when a film is made with love, passion, and heart, it's on the screen. Captain America Civil War is a film made with a lot of passion, and it's a lot of fun, and it's a more than perfect way to kick off the summer movie season. It is a perfect film in my opinion, and possibly the best superhero film I've seen. And no, you do not have to stick with the point of saying that The Dark Knight is the best film. I don't know why people are obligated to say that. There have been better films than The Dark Knight already. It's been almost 10 years. So yes, Captain America Civil War is the best superhero film I've ever seen until now. That can change. Understand that. Have you seen the slate for superhero movies till 2026? Yeah, that will most likely change. It is a fantastic film. It is one of the best action films I have ever seen, and the best action film since Mad Max Fury Road. I am giving this film a final rating, a perfect rating of 5 out of 5. Go see Civil War. It's what movies are for, man. Fun. Civil War is a masterpiece, and it has deep enough themes to warrant multiple viewings. And of course, that airport sequence will warrant multiple viewings. Thank you so much for watching, people. It really means a lot. If you enjoyed this review, please spread the word and subscribe. After all, it is free to subscribe. And until next time, I will be seeing you again. Remember to love yourself.